What's up, everybody? I'm Scott.
I'm Jason.
And you're listening to a normal episode of Liquid Carnage. And when I say normal, I mean by today's standards. I'm in Kingman. Jason is in Scottsdale. We are not traveling this week.
Wow. So we are both now home in our comfort of our own beds and living the life, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, it's always fun to travel, but it's always so much fun to come home.
You survived New Orleans okay?
Yeah, dude, it was great. You know, it's funny. That was my fourth or fifth time being there, and I absolutely love the city. It is a dirty city, but I love the vibe. I love the feel.
That's cool.
And this time it was more of a history-driven trip where we did a lot of the plantation tours. We did haunted ghost tours, swamp tours. So we learned a lot of history of the South. So
wow.
It was very cool. It was very relaxing. It was a bit hectic coming home. I had a bit of a planes, trains, and automobiles day on Thursday, but
oh no, are you serious? Oh
gosh,
dude, that sucks, man.
So I'll tell you, Halloween night, we're getting ready to go out, and all of a sudden we're hit with a tornado warning for all of Louisiana, and then a torrential downpour warning starting at midnight.
Oh God,
right. And for me, that's no big deal, man. I was Judge Kavanaugh for Halloween, so I had judge's robes and a calendar. So worst case scenario, it's no big deal for me. But our buddy Bennett and his girlfriend Vicky, they go all out every year, man. They go balls to the wall, like they go all out of their costumes. And they were the Big Bad Wolf in Red Riding Hood this year. And Bennett crushed it as the Big Bad Wolf from the neck up. From the neck down, he looked like he was wearing sweats with some fur attached to it.
Oh God.
But you couldn't tell unless you got up close.
Okay.
And we were essentially racing the clock on Halloween night, having a good time, but watching the skies, making sure that it wasn't going to start to rain because our apartment was probably about a half mile from the French Quarter, and we were deep in the quarter, so it would have been about a mile and a half walk back in the rain.
Oh yeah.
And full makeup and full fur if we would have gotten wet, but. So we got back at a decent time on Halloween night. My plane took off at 9:45 on Thursday morning, and I was woken up about 5 o'clock, and I thought someone was in the shower, but it was just the rain pouring, hitting the window.
Oh my gosh!
The lightning and the thunder, and it was a torrential downpour, like an Arizona monsoon, but that's like a normal rain for them. Like it was just heavy, and like I got to the airport, I got on the plane. And the plane was supposed to leave at 9:45, and I had a connecting flight to Houston at 11:45. And I sat on the tarmac till about 10:15. And I started like looking at my watch, like shit, I'm gonna miss my connecting flight. I'm not sure what time I'm gonna get back into Vegas. So I'm texting my parents and saying, hey, just so you know, because they're picking me up, this is what's going on. You might have to hang out for a while. And by the grace of God, we got into Houston at 11:15, so I had 30 minutes
to run.
And we're in Hobby Airport, which is a smaller airport for Houston, but with my typical luck, I got out of my gate was at one end of the airport, and my connecting gate was on the opposite end of the airport. So, being the athlete that I am, I had to sprint with my carry-on stuff across the airport, thinking, "Oh my God, I'm going to miss my connecting flight. I'm going to miss it," because it was about 11:30 before I got off the plane. So I had essentially 15 minutes before everything took off. And I get to the gate and find out that the storm has delayed everything. So I had another hour.
Oh, is that difficult? Oh,
I was like, you motherfucker. But I got home, man. And it's like I said, it's nice to be home. Yeah. It's fun to travel, but it's so nice to be home and just relax.
Yeah, I'm with you. Well, I had an interesting day today. So about a week ago, I just woke up with an enormous pain in my neck. I thought it was a sore muscle or something. So I went to a masseuse, did the whole massage. It was fantastic, but I leave and now my neck is even worse than it was before.
Well, you just got the happy ending. You didn't actually get the rest of the massage.
Yeah. So I still have that ache, but I felt good. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm talking about.
No, yeah, I get it.
For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, go to our Facebook, Twitter, or
it's the Instagram, and that's what a happy ending is. And let's see what kind of gift Tom can come up with at Liquid_EP for a happy ending.
That's
for
right.
massages.
So I got the Devil's Triangle, right?
Uh-huh.
And then I get done, but I'm still jacked up. So then I start thinking, maybe the problem is that I got a pinched nerve, So what do? I go to a chiropractor. And I said, okay, here's what's going on. She literally said that I am walking as if I was tilting. My whole entire body is tilting to the right.
So your hips out of alignment.
My hips are out of alignment. My spine is out of alignment. My neck is out of alignment. My head is actually twisted. She said, yeah, you're pretty messed up. So she starts doing all this. Well, first she puts me in one of those to loosen the back up, and that felt actually pretty good. But even that was a little sore. It was painful. You don't realize that the spine being in alignment is like it gets off by just a centimeter, and you're jacked. You are totally jacked.
Oh, it messes you up.
Yeah. So now I've gotten the I need to see you 3 times a week for the next 2 weeks, and then every 2 weeks for the next 4 weeks.
That's how they fuck you. That's how they fuck you with the adjustments.
They fuck you with adjustments. So, well, my thing is this. I asked her, I said, look, I sit at a desk all day. And for those listeners out there who do the same thing, when you ask them, well, I sit at a desk all day, what do you recommend they do? A lot of the things they tell you to do, I don't know if I can do. Like, you need to position your chair to a certain height to do with the desk. And, well, I don't have one of those chairs to do that. So now I'm thinking, if I want to do that, I'm going to have to spend money and make the adjustments that she wants me to make so that I get aligned. Now, here's the real question, Scott. I know what I need to do now. She told me what you need to do. You need to sit up straight. You need to, get a new seat. You need to adjust your table so that it's working right. How come as people, we know what needs to be do, but we don't do it?
I had the sense. That's a great question.
I mean, how come we don't do it? Like, because I know that she probably sees it goes in one ear and out the other. Okay, yeah, whatever, lady. Just get me adjusted so I can get the hell out of here.
And ultimately, that's job security for her, because I think she knows that nobody's going to listen, because if they start to listen, nobody's going to have to come back to the chiropractor. When I went and saw the chiropractor, I started going about 2 years ago. And I'll be honest, I had the same problem. My hips were out of alignment. My back was always hurting. And my chiropractor, Frank, took one look at me and was like, yep, you got CrossFit hips, the way you sit at your desk. And for anyone that's ever seen me sit at my desk, if I have an office chair that can recline back or rock back, I am perpetually in a leaned back position typing. I'll be the first one to admit I have the worst posture at all ever in my office. I sit as low as I can. I don't want to be seen when I'm in there, so I sit as low as I can. I sit far back.
Is Scott here? Nope, he's gone.
Exactly.
So why is his keyboard clicking? Oh, there you are, Scott.
Exactly. And I'm a hard man to miss, and I can make myself look small behind my desk. So, Frank told me the same thing. You have to stretch. You have to do this. You have to do that. And I did that great for about a month, and then I started to feel better. And inevitably, after you feel better, you don't feel like you have to do it anymore.
Yeah.
And the minute you stop doing it is when everything comes back to hurt.
I equate it to the same way as a diet. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you're having heart problems. Oh, you have leg problems. Oh, you have all these problems. Well, you need to lose some weight. So then you get all jazzed up for the first month and, oh, man, I've lost 10 pounds in a month. How great is this? I feel better. My heart feels great. What do? You stop on the diet, and then you gain the weight right back.
A cheat meal leads to a cheat day to a cheat month, man. I'll tell you what.
It's just to me that I know what needs to be done, but I don't do it. Isn't there a famous quote where who's the bigger fool, the person who doesn't know anything about something, or the person who does know everything about something but doesn't follow his own advice or something like that? I might be screwing up the quote, but it's basically, who's the bigger dummy? Someone who doesn't know anything about a problem, or who knows everything about the problem but doesn't ever solve it?
Oh yeah, and I think it comes down to human laziness. At the end of the day, is we know what we have to do better in certain areas of our life, and it's up to us to make those life adjustments. And if we don't do it, we have nobody to blame but ourselves.
I think about the famous people um, like famous actors, famous singers. Those people obviously become famous, one, because of the talent, but two, they do the things that the rest of us don't do. Right? I mean,
Yeah.
those people make sacrifices in their life of diet, or they exercise all the time. Like, I watched a movie recently with Chris Hemsworth, for the guy from Thor. Now, not that I'm homosexual by any stretch, but Chris Hemsworth got a, so I'm just going to put that out there.
Yeah.
Now, to me, I look at him and say, wow, he's got a really nice upper torso. What I don't see is he doesn't eat right. He sacrifices food. He exercises all the time. He does all the things that he should be doing to look like that, and I don't.
Yeah.
So it's funny. I know that what I need to do to look like that, but I'm not willing to do it.
Well, my question is, so you've got a man crush on Chris Hemsworth now. I mean, if you have to choose between Chris Hemsworth or Tom Cruise, Jason, who are you taking? Because if you can only watch one of their movies, like that, my friend, is your Sophie's choice.
It's for me. That's not really a Sophie's choice at all.
It's not.
Chris, bye.
Really?
Yes. Oh, big time.
You would still go with the Scientology loving Tom Cruise.
I would still go with Scientology loving Tom Cruise over pretty boy Chris Hemsworth. Though his Australian accent is pretty cool. I'll give him that.
Does it turn you on slightly when he has that accent?
It gives me a little itch, kind of the same way Hugh Grant does. He's got that little British accent. And you know me, I got a thing for British accents.
You do have that thing for British accents. You learn something new every day, man. And there you go. I'm gonna have to shoot a note to Noreen and say, hey, you want to get him in the mood? You just start talking in a British accent and an Australian accent, and
yeah, believe me, dude, I've already went down that path. If she was doing it. Right now she doesn't have a very good British accent. She does okay, but she's like limited to certain words, like crikey. Well, she only gets certain words, and some of those words, even in a British accent, just are not perfect.
No, not
they're not perfect.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. But I guess if she picks the right keywords,
that's true.
That's all she needs.
That's true, and
it just needs a little bit to get the engine fired up. And you'll take it from there. And
let's be honest, the worst British accent with her being naked, it does the same thing.
It's still a pretty good
It does. Yeah, it's a perfect British accent as far as I'm concerned. But but I digress. It just makes me wonder though, because now I have to go in for these visits. I'm wondering if I can, because the pain is excruciating. Like it was bad. I mean, if you're saying you have like chronic hip problems, you know what that pain feels like.
Yeah, my SI joint is always out, so I know exactly what that's like. If I stand too long, if I don't stretch, if I don't do
I remember
it hurts. It hurts bad.
I remember one time when I was running really a lot, I had thought I'd torn my hamstring, and it was one of the most painful tears I had ever had in my entire life. I mean, I couldn't walk on it, couldn't run on it. I tried to deal with it as much as I could, thinking, "Oh, I'll just stretch it out." No, it was one of the worst torn hamstrings. At the time, I went to a chiropractor, and the chiropractor said, "Oh my gosh, it's that painful, huh? Yeah, this is either the worst torn hamstring I've ever seen in my entire life, or crack. You've got a pinched nerve." And within an hour, the pain was gone. That's how bad the pinched nerve was. Just a little bit out of alignment, and it alleviated all the pain once he corrected it.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. So for those of you who don't think a chiropractor is the way to go, I've only been to a chiropractor, well, now twice. The first time, I never went back. I mean, he unpinched the nerve, did whatever he did on my back, and it was gone. And the pain was gone. And I thought, oh, man, I'll never deal with that again. But now I'm kind of waking up to the fact, there's probably a lot of things in my life that I am an idiot for not taking seriously, and I need to start looking at my chiropractic needs more seriously and sitting with better posture.
I think taking care of your body holistically, more than just, with Western medicine, but the Eastern medicine side of life, I think it gets overlooked and gets called, I don't want to say hooey, but people don't take it seriously to this, or they think that, Do you want to go straight to the science, straight to the pills that make you feel better, straight to the? They don't take in consideration proper alignments when you're a chiropractor, maybe herbs or different anti-inflammatories that you can get through food.
What do you think is the main reason why the people would rather go that direction than just getting it fixed?
Ease.
Yeah.
I think it's easier to pop a pill and numb the pain than to actually physically stretch, work it out, or do whatever you have to do to make the pain go away.
I mean, those diet pills that the was legalized methamphetamine that the doctors can give you for losing weight. People will take, get a prescription of those and lose weight real quick. I don't know how healthy it is for you, but they can lose weight pretty quick. So if you want to lose weight, they can do that.
But it's like every other fad diet. The minute you stop doing it, you gain all the weight right back. You got to do it smart,
or do it fast. Like I'll take the pill and be done.
Yeah, but you have to keep taking that pill or find a way to match that fat burning. Otherwise, it's all coming flying back.
Do you think that the people who are so dedicated to living a healthy lifestyle, eating right, exercising, do you think that they really gain like 5 or 10 years on us in terms of life expectancy?
It's hard to tell. A lot of it comes down to genetics. I like, in my heart of hearts, I want to believe that if you take care of yourself, it will extend your life. But when it's your time, it's your time. I think of Burgess Meredith from Grumpier Old Men. And they ask him, like, what's your diet? Because he was 94, 95 in the movie. He goes, I have a pack of bacon for breakfast, a bacon sandwich for lunch, a carton of cigarettes for the afternoon, and another pack of bacon for dinner. And I've lived to be this old. Some people can do that.
The same way. Smoke cigars his whole entire life.
Yeah. If I look at a cookie wrong, I'll gain 5 pounds. It's not fair. But that's the way the
for those
goes.
people out there who are listening saying, I don't know why anyone has a weight problem. I can eat, never gain a pound. I salute you, and then I finger salute you. I hate you because I have never been like that. Like I will look at a cookie, and just looking at it, it goes right to my stomach. So,
yeah. And I tell you what, you have to find a healthy lifestyle that works for you, and you have to find that balance. Because no matter what, we all die. We don't get out of this life alive. So whether you're 55, 75, or 95, or 105, how you live your life is your choice. But we don't get out of this thing alive.
Well,
and you have to have a decent quality of life.
I was going to just say the same thing. My dad was he was a quality versus quantity type of person. Like, of him being in his mid 70s, early 80s, but being an invalid or being in a wheelchair, it just wasn't an option for him. Like some people, hey, look, I know I drink too much. I know I smoke too much. I don't care. I like doing it. And if it means I only live to be 60, then I only live to be 60. Some people, they think that way, and they say, hey, look, I want to drink. I want to smoke. I used to always think, I don't understand how a nurse in the medical profession dealing with people who are ill and have medical problems can be a smoker. I just don't understand how a nurse knowing all that could be a smoker, but it happens all the time.
I have that same curiosity. I see a lot of the nurses that work at our hospital and what they eat and that they smoke and all that. And, to each their own, man. Everyone has their own life to live. I try not to judge it, but it's like you try to save lives for a living. You try to help people get healthy. Don't you think you should not be a hypocrite? You should actually try to, live a healthy lifestyle or as much of a healthy lifestyle as you can.
But, like you said, the willpower. I mean, I know what I need to do to lose weight. I have a tough time doing it. I know it's bad for me to be too heavy. For my heart and liver and kidneys and all that stuff. I know it's too much to be heavy, but I don't have the willpower to be disciplined. Like some people, they don't put the emotional connection to food, let's say. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure a lot of smokers say, I love the. I don't think about whether it's bad for me. I don't think about whether or not I should be doing it. I just love the taste. It makes me feel so good when I inhale that cigarette smoke that I don't care. And I kind of feel the same way about food. I know that bad food for me is bad, but I don't care. I love it, man. I love eating it,
Oh, Oh yeah, and don't get me wrong. So do I. I love a good burger and fries. I love a good pizza, and it is. It's. I have food guilt after the fact. You know,
Food
if
guilt. Shouldn't have ate
oh
you.
my god,
I shouldn't have done it.
it's the worst. But you know, like Friday night, like we went out, had a couple beers downtown. You know, did our thing, and about 11:30, it's like, well, fuck, I'm hungry, and I'm on my way home. I'm gonna stop and get a burger. That was a terrible idea, but it was a
Where'd you go?
tremendous idea. I stopped
Oh,
at Burger
okay,
King. It
okay.
was on the way. You know, and that's I don't eat at McDonald's, and Jack in the Box was full, so I figured I'll try this. And this is probably my favorite fast food burger, and I don't eat fast food burgers a lot. And it tasted great for the just because I was late and I was hungry, I had
Yeah.
that craving. But man, looking back, like they put all that crap on there that you don't need, and it's one of those you have to make smart choices. Once in a while is okay, but it's not something you should be doing
Yeah.
all the time.
Now I do feel blessed because I've never been a smoker. Like I've never. I've tried it one time, and this burn in my lungs just made it to a point where I wasn't going to ever be a smoker. But I'm sure there are other people that can look at a juicy cheeseburger with all the fixings and all 8,000 calories, and they say that just doesn't look good to me. Like
Yeah.
my son Alex, he's a flat health food nut. Like he doesn't eat any red meat at all. He very rarely eats chicken. He will eat fish every once in a while, but he's fish and vegetables kind of kid. So when I look at him, it's like, dude, are you crazy? Like you're missing out on so much good food. He's like, I just don't put an emotional charge into it, and that's the key, right? It's the emotional connection, not just the physical connection to food or smoking or whatever. It's that emotional connection that makes us feel good or makes us want it more that we have to fight through.
And I'll fully admit I am emotionally connected to food. You know, half of my vacations are food based. Like if I know where I'm going to a certain area, it's like I look up, where are the good restaurants? What are the things you have to try? What is good for that area, and I'll go try it. Because I think you have to do that.
Oh yeah, big time. And some people, they can look at food. I remember I worked with someone who was really disciplined about food, and frankly, the person ate the same food every single day. And I thought to myself, I wonder how that person can do that. But I realized because that person doesn't put an emotional charge, they eat simply for fuel. You know what I mean? Like they only eat for fuel, and so you wouldn't put bad fuel into your car. That's how they ate. And I thought, man, it'd be nice if they could do that. I can't do that. Like I just don't.
No, granted, I could do that same thing too. When it's just me, I have no problem eating what I need to eat at home. Egg whites, oatmeal, chicken, sweet potatoes, things like that. I have no problem eating the same thing over and over and over. But when I'm out with friends or whatever else, that's when it starts to. I can't do it.
Well, I'm going to try to be disciplined about my neck and my back. I'm really going to try my best to be disciplined about that because I know I need to get back. Sure, because the pain in and of itself, it's awful.
Terrible.
Like for those of you, our listeners out there who've ever dealt with this, I pity you, and I now have a much better understanding of what you're dealing with because it's draining emotionally or mentally or physically. I was exhausted this weekend. Like I was lethargic. I didn't have any energy to do anything.
Oh yeah, well when you're in pain, it hurts to move, man. You
That's
can't
right.
do anything.
That's right.
And you need to get yourself right because in 2 weeks or next weekend,
That's
I
right.
should say, we'll be down there to record the special Thanksgiving episode and go to the Mac and Cheese Festival. So
yeah, and we need to do Drunken History at some point too.
That's
the Thanksgiving special, the Drunken History.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll. Have you figured out what my story is?
Yeah, the story of Thanksgiving. I think we've talked about that.
I don't remember that you're talking about the story of Thanksgiving, so I apologize.
Yeah, you're supposed to talk about the very first
very
Thanksgiving.
Good. Very good. Okay.
And our intern JP will be there. Our executive producer
Tom
will be there.
JP's coming down. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes. I got him to finally confirm yesterday that he will be able to make the trip down too.
Wow.
So,
it's a Thanksgiving miracle.
Exactly. It'll be it's a Festivus,
It's a
for, the
Festivus for the rest of us.
So the four of us will be able to be in a room to have a few drinks and have you regale us with the history of the very first Thanksgiving.
Well, the good thing too is that I've already discussed the drunken history with Noreen, and she recognizes and realizes that that is going to happen at some point somehow, and so she signed off on it. So I have that going for me too.
No, which is good, because the other question is, what if she had not signed off on that?
Hey, it's for the listeners. It's for the listeners. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's for you, the listeners, that I'm doing this. I don't do this for me.
You're damn right.
That's right. That's right. Well, as we get closer to the end of our podcast, I recognize that many of you who might be listening might have made your own little bit of a sacrifice. And because obviously October 31st has now come and gone, which means that you are now out of dating season. And for those of you who remember the podcast when we talked about dating season and would like to comment or make recommendations for what you plan on doing during the off season, hit us up on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Liquid Carnage. And let us know exactly the main thing that you're going to do in the off-season time.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, take the season off. Don't try to press anything. Don't try to push anything. And you never know. Maybe something happens, and that's at your own risk. But
hey, I know this too. I got a lot of texts from listeners who talked about how jealous they were that you were on vacation. So maybe some of these people, whether you're on off dating season or not, maybe you can go do some traveling over the holidays, or maybe the first part of the year, get some travel in.
That's a tremendous idea. I think that's a great idea.
Because you put pictures on the Facebook page all the time. We'd love to Facebook or Instagram or any of those.
Yeah, just tag us in it. That's great, because we want to know, man. Like, where are you going? Who you hanging out with in these exotic places? Did you find something cool to eat? Where's a good bar in these towns? We want to know. We need to help. You need to help us plan the next Liquid Carnage Great American Road Trip.
Oh, dude.
And I say next, but
the first. Yeah, it's the first annual, because we're in. That's the other thing too, is we got to look at doing the Hans Gruber again coming up. I mean,
we do. We
Hans Gruber's Gruber. I mean, this is like busy time for us. Very busy time for us.
It's our busy. It's the busy season for Liquid Carnage.
I know. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about the second annual Hans Gruber. We'll have to do something fun.
Yeah. Yes, so am I. We're gonna.
The big thing I want.
The big thing,
Scott, is find one thing and do it. So if you need to do better posture, do it, buddy. You need to put a little bit more money into savings, do it.
Do it. As Shia LaBeouf would say, just do it. What are you waiting for?
Yeah,
just do it.
I know. Me too, buddy. I gotta do this. I gotta do my neck thing, because it only gets worse as you get older too. I mean, that's the problem with with your health. It makes it that much easier, because I'm almost 10 years older than you, Scott. So I'm feeling it. I mean, I'm getting old.
Well, the older you get, if you don't take care of yourself, the older you get, the more it hurts. You have to stay active. You have to stay active. And I always joke, my days of CrossFit they'll be done sooner than later, and I understand that. And I'll be one of those guys in the water aerobics class,
trying to pick up the 74-year-olds. Nice, dude.
I'll be getting my exercise that way.
That's right.
It takes.
That's right. Well, I am glad that you're back home safe. I'm glad that you didn't miss your flight.
Thank you.
And as usual, this week we're not traveling. Next weekend we are traveling. This, it's always going to keep going. So, oh man, crazy times.
Well, why don't you take us home,
all right,
Jason?
Well, once again, everyone, thanks for listening. We always enjoy coming to you each week. Hey, do what you need to do to get healthy. If you got to be disciplined like me and do the posture, good luck with it, because it's going to be really important to going forward, and hopefully you never feel the pain I'm feeling. So thanks for listening this week. That was Scott. I am Jason. And as always, if you never know quite what to say, just have yourself some liquid courage.